I'm Bahtiye from Pristina. Today, I would like to talk about what the war means in countries affected by armed conflict and their consequences on human beings, particularly children. In this regard, I am happy to introduce the project in which I'm involved, conducted by the Universities Network for Children in Armed Conflict and supported by the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. It is a project which aims to create a network of young mediators from different parts of the world for building lasting peace and security. I started primary school in 1974. During that period of time, the adoption of the Yugoslav Constitution in 1974 granted Kosovo extensive autonomy, and Kosovo became an autonomous province within Serbia. Kosovo could then establish its own education, culture, and socio-economic policies, as have representation in Yugoslav federal institutions. The unofficial Republic of Kosovo was declared, and parallel institutions, including schools and healthcare systems, were established and bypassed Serbian control.
During the 90s, a very glory time for the Albanian resistance against Serbian aggression. This house was used for the parallel system for all Albanian students. There was war basically in Kosovo. There were a lot of genocides, atrocities, but most of all, they wanted to rob us of our future by expelling us from all education, from all the schools. This was a really difficult time for every parent, since if you can't educate your child, there is no future for them, and basically what's left is for them to leave the country and seek a better life elsewhere. My father talked with the family and told them that it's an historic time. We're at a crossroads and we need to take actions, otherwise it's going to be very dangerous for the future of our country. The Serbian authorities never believed for 1 second we could do this, but we were determined. One of the greatest achievements that I believe enabled us to win the war against Serbia, since this was the first sparks of our freedom were sparked here, since we were seeing how we were being discriminated, and this enraged our young population, including me, and eventually freedom fighters were built, trained, and Kosovo Liberation Army was created. So it's one of the monumental stones of our history. That's why the 90s history is a very glorious one of a people's power to never surrender, never give up.
During the war, Serbian paramilitaries came into my house on 1st of April 1999, told us to get out of the house quickly. My parents and children were there. They took us away from our house and we joined the column of displaced people going toward Macedonia. We lived in the border with Macedonia for 3 days. After the third day, the Serbian forces allowed me and my son of 6 years to cross the border and to enter to Macedonia, while my husband and my daughter were not allowed. Those days were terrible days of my life. I was scared for my husband and for my daughter's destiny.
Unë jam në Zhmendin Gërgjaliu, antari i familjes Sladin Gërgjaliut, cilës familje ka ndodhë është shumë familja Slatinit me 8 antarë, 6 djemë e një vajzë, shoqja, vllau, nona, shoqja ime, djali im. Mesazhi im është për këtë ngjarje makabre, për këtë masakër, mos më ndodh kur më, mos më përsërit kur më, dhe drejtësia le të punoj, le të qetë në bankën e gjyqit, dhe t'i akuzoj, dhe t'i masakrat e tërë Kosovës e jo veç tonën, kështu që nuk di tjetër që më thonë, inshallah kur së përsëritet më.
Working with Kosovo refugees, working with rape survivors during that time, it made me to realize that after the war will stop, I need to establish an organization in order to respond in all this kind of suffering, trauma, and those on those kind of civilians who were completely innocent and were not prepared to go through those kind of horrifying processes.
Ήταν αντιδεξιά. Ξεκινά приятунду на подушка и на крет. И тамаран ме съюзни тотално по-инкатомет. Painful. Me vale că con le periferii, aici te spogă. Me pan conștiente. Cum dați mă și cum e voda. Ai vexă, o să discuți. Că da pe ce fana, eu să pun paese, să pun tafcol. Però con pe fattore. Eu da punto tu le che ne zichieta sta. Un canale poliț mă boite visto să vă. Cât cu document, ni colleghi vete capire. Con alt, manante con te dut. Avem ce moment nu e cum controllo pedia con godice cri o con un de contometan. Okay, just not sorry.
Working with survivors of sexual violence, it was quite sensitive part because in our society this kind of thematic was not so much open. There was a lot of stigma and prejudice towards this group, and it was quite challenging to work with them since society and community was not so open and not ready to work and share such stories.
Look at the group Kita ditalbasok ya mediras mulai mediras. Grejamce tatadzol as. Dok zadit dodina yetastan. Nirat shomolona men je kubeta na pon mene hikiada tui konvita. C'è momenti che candos. Kur komardë lëndete, kur e kom pa vetën, o kon veç izme e tupikan, edhe e bingë kem nënçme, edhe i e gjokut, edhe u kojnë di ambiente in scuola at competition management.
What is important to be mentioned in terms of conflict relating sexual violence, some principles that we had to follow from the beginning and even now is confidentiality and privacy. Why? Beside professional and empathizing with the story, because still in our communities, still in our families, stigma around this crime is so big and is prohibiting survivors to go to the organization to receive support and adequate treatment, as they are, most of them, suffering from mental health and psychosocial support.
We need to help our country to raise, to become more development than it was before.
There are no organizations that I know of that are advocating for peace unless people go to court or people solve violence their own decisions. This organization can get through that and help you to solve conflict in workplaces, in communities, between neighbors, between everyone that is conflict.
Universities Network for Children in Armed Conflict is a very useful project since it aims to provide young generations with the tools and the knowledge to develop strategies to address the specific needs and challenges faced by children, particularly girls, affected by armed conflict. This project intends to use a child-centered and sensitive approach to mediation as an instrument for achieving peace and security.
Maintaining peace is a really big thing, I'd say, and our generation or the youth has a big importance in this part. I think we made the change so the people that were before us didn't make. So maybe try different things and maybe more like the European countries, let's say. Yep.
So kind of programs of the mediation, negotiation, it will help a lot to realize and understand what kind of topics we have to raise, what we can do, and how we can solve the problem.
My name is Mikiko Tani, a member and former chair of the United Nations Committee on the Rights of the Child. Our work is to help the states who ratified the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child to effectively implement and provide and promote the rights of the child. We can provide more assistance and we can promote this idea that the children are the rights holders and they are agents of change as very important partners of our society. And because of the 196 states have already ratified, we should also promote the idea that this is the obligation of all states, not only the countries who are in the conflict or in post-conflict situation, but this is the obligation of the all states and the international community to provide the opportunities and support the child victims affected by armed conflict to be part of the process for building peace back to the society and maintain the society.